Hello, thank you for joining me tonight. I enjoyed my week off last week. I hope you guys did too. Tonight we're going to pick back up on the odds, and we have the cover of issue one here. We have a bear inked, and we've barely done anything else. Apologies for the bad jokes. It's just something I do. So we're going to throw on a bit of music because I quite enjoyed that the last time. Where is it? It is somewhere around here. Um, Usual kind of stuff. And we have all the stuff still up in the Bennessy shop. You can get your commissions, prints, comics. I actually found 2 or 3 trades of Godfell that I still have left. I thought I'd sold them all. I'll put them on the shop this weekend. Possibly the weekend after, actually. It'll be 2 weeks' time before they're up. There has been a delay with my printer. So people who have been waiting for a print, I think everyone's waiting on a print of the X-Men piece I did, actually. It's en route. Sincerest apologies. I haven't had this issue before. It's just happened now, and it also kind of spiked on the same time I was away. But I'm fixing it now. Hopefully I'll have that collected tomorrow and in the post for Friday. So hopefully those who are waiting on their print for longest time anyone's ever waited on a print from me, it'll be in the post for you early next week. Hopefully I should get in the post on Friday. So that's kind of it for all the housekeeping. There's still some new t-shirts, there's hats, and is there hats? I don't think I have hats. I have t-shirts, I have jumpers, I have water bottles, I have stickers, you name it, on the Bennessy store under the merch tab. You'll find everything there. If the music is drowning me out, let me know. I'll see to it straight away, but for the moment I think it's okay. And I'm going to get into drawing Sean, Buck, and Finn, and the phone that he's walking on. So yeah, I'm going to get straight to it tonight. As always, if you like the stream, tell your mates, share it on Twitch or Twitter or YouTube, wherever it is you're watching. Let me know. But as always, if you see me delving off to this side of the screen, it's because all my model sheets for the characters are over here. And I'm going to need them tonight. I don't like to just go off the cuff with these things, even though I've drawn them quite a few times now. There will always be something in here that I'd like to take a chance with, and I would then go back to my model sheet and realize, oh no, that's off model now, that doesn't work. And I never want to leave something that would be such an easy error to fix. That's why I have my thirds and borders and everything always set up here as well. It's always a way. If there's any questions about the technique, throw them into the comments. I'll get to them. But let's see if we can get this finished tonight. It would be cool if I got the first cover done live here on air. Buck is this really big brow, and he's kind of got like a small eyebrow. So there's lots of kind of skin overhanging his eyes sometimes. Scary dude. I love drawing him though. And a huge thanks to everyone tuning in to watch the stream just before I went saying there. Um, Usually I get those kind of numbers on a really bad character like Spider, you know, um, Ben Grimm or Sue Storm or someone. So it was really great to get those kind of views on a character that myself and Dave have come up with. Um, and thanks again for the numbers on the odds pod itself as well. It's really great seeing that stream go from strength to strength now. I think the last few times we've been streaming, we've had our biggest crowds. So that's just brilliant. Thanks very much. And he kind of has a big kind of bushy mustache, kind of handlebars here. They're not tight at all. They're kind of big whiskers. And one thing I did for some reason or other the last time I was drawing this was give him a very pointy chin, which is not something he has. He's got like a big roundy thing that leads into a couple of chins. He's a big dude. The thing about Buck is like I kind of wanted that same reaction people had maybe when they saw like Brock Lesnar in the UFC for the first time. You know, a guy that big shouldn't be able to move that fast, and Buck is kind of like one of those guys. He's just an insane natural athlete. And it just makes him scarier. These big ears. So you wanted to see me make a change there. You see the ear should be kind of going in that direction, not starting over here. As I said before on the stream a number of times, like don't feel like you have to go with your pencils. If you see that there was a mistake or you just plain see a better option, take that better option or fix that mistake. kind of find that like Buck's ears are pretty wild most of the time, so they can kind of vary in thickness when I'm roughing them out. It's usually something I do correct when I go to inks. Hello. Thanks for joining the conversation. Overly sober. Great name. Really great name. That's awesome. Oh, and apologies to everyone on Twitch. I only realized that when I got home, I never managed to change my timetable on that to say I wasn't streaming last week. Very sorry about that. I use StreamYard to stream on Twitch, which means I don't really need to click into Twitch, so I kind of forgot about it. But I will rectify that. That won't happen again. So on these kind of collage covers, it's easy to kind of get stuck on starting one thing, finishing another, or in these little fiddly bits where it's quite a hairy bear and hair on one of our main characters. You just kind of want to watch out for tangents. Again, like this would have been a horrible tangent, but when you see them, fix it. Buck's kind of got a big buzz cut. So instead of this bit here, I'm going to take it out, make it quite taller, like that. I only have the one bit kind of splaying out near the end. And just so long as our lines aren't falling on the other line there and they're going past it enough, it's fine. It won't read as a tangent. But it is something you have to watch out for. As always, we do a tangent sweep at the end, tangent and line weight sweep. And as always, I'll catch 98% of it on the stream and then catch a few obvious ones afterwards. Usually when I'm working these things, I give myself a day to sleep on it, come back and make sure everything is where it's supposed to be. And that's just the way of these things. I'd love if AI had that kind of feature in it where I could do a quick tangent and line weight check at the end and it would just highlight the areas for me. That would be pretty incredible. I wouldn't even want it to fix it for me. I'd be quite happy to go that myself, but if it could spot them for me immediately, so I wouldn't have to go sleep on it, that'd be huge. Again, making these lines thicker. It should stand out prominently from the rest of his head. And you can leave some of these lines open where I'm going to put in this kind of shaved fade. And I always like to do this on another layer. I like to do another layer, so I'm still kind of drawing from my shoulder quite freely. This leaves me with a more aesthetic line. Always trying to avoid those tangents as well. Actually, there's something I've always wanted to try. I'm going to give it a shot now while I'm here. This is one of the advantages of working digitally. I just want to see if I need the outline at all. I'm not entirely sure that I do. No, I don't think I do. I'll leave it out. I'll even turn it down a little bit. There we go. And I always try to have some kind of obvious shape to every character silhouette to make them very different from one character to another, like immediately, and you can pick it up without really trying to. But in the odds, I tried to do something a little bit extra, where I had a kind of a graphic black placed on the characters as well. And on Buck, it's his kind of baseball top. So that'll be a fun one to play with, because I think I'm going to have quite a lot of dark colors on this, which will also kind of help the collage. It'll have one thing meld into the other quite nicely. Hopefully, that's the plan anyway. Certainly thinking about these things even before we come to inks. And you don't want your lines to be very even. You don't want your stuff to twin. It'll look weird. It looks kind of plain and lacking in energy and believability. You want people to empathize with these characters. And when you kind of have a roboticness about them, it kind of kills people's ability to empathize with them. So try and break up your poses as best you can, and that includes where you leave your shading and how the light hits your characters. I've had a few people saying now that my lines are drawn pretty quickly. I wasn't aware of that. It might be because I've been streaming on a computer. I think I'm far more slower when I'm working traditionally. Um, but also I'm almost always drawing from my shoulder. I never really go to the wrist. Unless I really have to, but I just find that there's a far more aesthetic line in the ones that you draw with your shoulder than you get anywhere else. And I think I'm probably drawing a little quicker using my shoulder. For now, I'm just drawing an outline of these guys. I'll come back and rectify that line a little later. I also might have a bit of a buzz when I'm drawing this. I might be drawing this particularly quickly because I'm excited to see it. It's the first cover of the odds that I have done. I thought I'd hold off near the end to do them. I'm close to the end, not quite there yet. So it's a lot of fun doing these. I love working on covers too. Coffee kind of helps put a bit of a pep in your step as well. Get out of here. There's something very satisfying about drawing Buck. I think it's just the sheer weight of him, you know, and the way you can kind of render that weight is kind of a lot of fun. As I said before, I try to avoid as I absolutely have to. I think you can kind of kill potential to texture things. Back to kind of making sure your drawing and stuff isn't twinning with anything. Like I kind of feel like unless you're someone like sorry, is it Clay Henry or Clayton Henry or someone who's particularly good at the cross hatching leading up into his paint bucket drops at the end of his drawings. Unless you're putting that kind of effort into cross hatching, which I don't do, I feel like putting your blacks, your spot blacks like this, kind of gives you an opportunity to inform volumes and put in a bit of dirt on your characters when you can, that kind of stuff. Pure subjective. That's nothing people should be putting in stone and setting their clock to. It's pure preference. There is times for pristine black shapes in your designs. Like when I was working on Ben Grimm, and I had his Fantastic Four spandex on. That's an opportunity for a paint bucket because you want that looking pretty slick. It's supposed to be a slick texture, and shiny black surfaces are really good for with the paint bucket tool. For everything else though, you kind of want to find your texture brushes, your nibs like this, and see what you can get out of it. I wasn't sure we were so rare. I love Sketchbook. Sketchbook's incredible. It's a brilliant program. I found it years ago and have not stopped using it. It's just so intuitive. I love the brushes in it. It has not really left me down ever. I was fond of painting in Photoshop, and never really found Photoshop great for drawing with, and this was the tool for drawing with for me. Wow, definitely the most rare print. Wow, that makes me worry. I hope it sticks around because I'm very fond of it. I'd hate for it to go anywhere. Are you use Photoshop, Clip Studio, or Procreate yourself? I think the company should be fine. I hope the company are. Because they moved away from Autodesk quite some time ago. They're their own entity now. But I love it. Even their rotate option just feels quite like when I was using my animation disc. You use the old Autodesk version. I had to stop using that. That was crashing like I wouldn't believe. I couldn't keep it going, and it was one of those horrible crashes where it would take layers with it for no reason. They could have just been turned on, and if it crashed, they were gone. And then I realized I've been working on an older, outdated version and moved over here, and life has just been amazing since. The most modern one on Android. Yeah, it's a great program. Hey, there's Dan. Hey Dan. I haven't used Krita yet. Gotta check that stuff out. Nice. Procreate's brilliant. Love Procreate. But this is a really reliable version of Sketchbook if it's something you want to go back to, Anwa. I really can't say enough about it. At this stage, I would kind of hope I'm getting shares for just recommending it to people. I'm sure there's some kind of a monetary win for me at this stage, just telling people how good it is and how cheap it is. It is not an expensive program. It's very affordable. Like, it might just be 20 quid or something. I'm liking the mix on the comments tonight. We have a lot of Twitch and a lot of and some Twitter. We don't have any YouTube. Anyone on YouTube watching tonight? Yeah, you can stream on Twitter. A lot of folks do. You would think because of everything else that's having Twitter that it wouldn't be so good, but quite good for views for me anyway. No, I'm not streaming on them. I'm streaming art for free. I forget how much I paid for it, but it's like I feel like a bit of a company shill here, even though I'm not working for them. But it's really good. It's very easy to pick up. Um, yeah, I'd recommend it a lot. Uh, I know there's even more things that I can do with it that I haven't figured out yet. I'll get there, but it's a it's a great little stream piece of kit. And I'm nearly at 50 hours doing this. I think I'll hit 50 hours tonight. I'll be at 51, I think, at the end. I usually stream for 2 hours. It'd be great if I could get this thing inked in a total of 4 hours. That'd be brilliant. Um, we'll see what happens. Generally, it takes me about 8 hours or so to do a cover. If I got it done in less than that, I'd be very surprised. Especially when I'm trying to talk and draw at the same time. It's not easy. You think it would be? I'm just blocking out my shapes here. I don't make that too heavy. Better. Oh, do you mean am I paying on Twitter? I'm not paying on Twitter. You just have the option to pay or to stream on Twitter from StreamYard. I haven't forked out any money for socials just yet. Trying not to, but I think the way they're all going, it's going to become something that you have to do if things like this are going to be part of your income, unfortunately. Line quality on this should be a bit thicker because we wanted to pop out from the bear. Just in case you're wondering. Anwar, if you have a website or a social media account or anything where we can see your lovely sketchbook drawings or something, shoot a link there and I'll post it up. Just trying to study the fundamentals. Ah, very good. Are you studying at the moment? In college or working on your own? Nice one. Best of luck, and if you have any questions, you think I can help, shoot them my way. I'd be very happy to help out if I can. One thing I wish Sketchbook had, that Photoshop has, is that navigator window. I would love if I was zoomed in like this on this screen, and I could have the navigator window open up here so I could see the drawing in its entirety. I could kind of see my line weights the whole time. I wouldn't have to come back out and zoom out to kind of see it as if I was stepping back from a drawing on an easel, that kind of thing. It would be so cool to have that. Oh, you animate as well? That was something I used to do. And I storyboarded for a long, long time. I still do a little bit of it, but mostly illustrations these days. I'm here for the rave. Hey, buddy. Hey, thanks for joining in, man. He's talking to you very soon, actually. For anyone who's unaware, Buddy is an amazing comic book letterist and writer. Check him out. Great guy as well. We like Buddy. Ah, no worries, man. Thanks for joining in. It's really cool. I appreciate that. Here's one of the things about Sketchbook that I really love. The ruler tool and their ellipse tool is so good. It's like using a pencil, you know, and an actual like French curve or a set of ellipse tools itself. Really, you don't get that kind of dead digital line that I really don't like. Um, this thing like adheres to your line quality. It's just the best. I love it. This really worn down, overused meat cleaver here is something I'm kind of enjoying drawing. What does that say about me? Should I worry? I did get paid by the foot. I wasn't producing many feet. Phew. Gotta start somewhere though, buddy, right? I'm just talking to my mate Dan there. I he's after changing his avatar. Um We're the follow guys. One of the nicest, most talented people I know. Um Great guy. And we went to college together, studied animation, worked together for a long time. Great guy. Thanks for tuning in tonight, lads. This is cool. It's nice just having some friendly folks to shoot the shit with, as they say, while I draw some pretty fucking diabolical bastards. I think I was saying this the last day, maybe it wasn't last day, maybe it was the day before. But usually when I do my character designs for new books, shows, whatever it needs to be, one of the things I hit a big point of reference is fashion magazines, fashion Instagram accounts, that kind of stuff. And then I usually save a folder of the jackets that I'm deciding to draw so I can reference them when I need to. Because things like Sean's jacket, this lady right here, and Buck dungarees are something that I didn't do. Like take my reference, I didn't take that reference straight away, and then when I had to go back and find it, I couldn't. So I've had to kind of find various things that can kind of get me across the line when I needed the reference. Now I know it now by heart because I've drawn them so much, but like that was a learning curve. Make sure that I can keep my reference where I need it. So now I print screen that or screenshot that or save the page or whatever I need to do just to make sure that I can always reference the thing that I need to. Especially when it's something like this, it's a project you fit in after hours, so it's a bit slower than, it's a good bit slower than your usual production timeline. So you can kind of forget little details if you're not working on it all the time. And having those little folders of reference just make everything so much more doable. Hey Ren, how you doing? Nice to see you. Yeah, I stream every Wednesday and I podcast every Tuesday. This is Ren. He's an animator on the way up. Um, very talented. Actually, Ren, if you haven't been talking to Paul recently, give him a shout. I've got some good news. That's all I'll say. Very good, very good. I hope Bennessy was good to you as well. No worries, Dan. That's cool. Very good. Delighted for Paul. He's a good friend of mine. Another person I was in college with, and very talented. And things recently have had a uh, big change and big turnaround, and all these things he was working so hard on seem to be going his way now. Just filling all you guys in, um, as I chat away here to Ren. But Paulo Morris is someone to keep an eye out for too. He's got some good stuff happening. Got some talented friends, lads. I'm good. I'm good. I've been very good. No real news really. Um, Thanks for asking. Because the light source is over this guy's head, even these little bits of I don't know what they're called, but they'd be kind of little pipelines, I guess, in his denim dungarees, and would cast a little bit of shadow. Um, just an opportunity, as I kind of said before, with this character, he's so big, so immense, just to make him feel more weighted to the ground it's another opportunity just to take advantage of it and make sure everyone feels just how absolutely immense this guy is. Like he should just feel really heavy and like he's almost kind of got his own feel of gravity around him. Oh yeah, your friend got Godfell. That's cool. That's really cool. Delighted they pick it up. I don't know if it's male, female, or they them. I have no idea. But whoever they are, tell them I said thank you so much. I hope they like the book. That book is the reason why I'm doing these streams. Actually, just on the run up to its release, I thought it would be fun to do some live drawings. I did 3 live drawings a week, and it damn near killed me. It's fitting in time while working was a bit of an ask, but I kept up the streaming and now stream just the 1 drawing a week. We kind of are co-workers, buddy. Like, we'll be in touch again soon. Actually, hopefully we can work together again. What are you working on at the moment, buddy? Or can you say? Maybe you can't say. Super secret project? An unannounced project, yeah. That's fair. I hope it's a fun one. Definitely give the dancing a miss, Dan. Actually, for those of you watching, Buddy, the letterer and writer I'm talking to there, he actually did the letters on the ash can of the odds that we put out last year. He did a stellar job. Someone we're pretty keen on working with again. Hopefully we can book you in, buddy. Okay. Nice. Yeah, it's a pretty cool job. Buddy's one of the best. Do you want to throw out some titles you worked on, buddy? So maybe the likes of Ren and all who were talking to you about your books can go find them. I think people might be pretty keen on seeing your work, as they should. Yeah, go for it. It's cool, man. It'll keep everyone distracted when I figure out this hand. I'd say Gotcha Man might be one that Ren knows about, coming from an animation background. Nice. Good titles there. Nice. Yeah, pretty much. That's the crack. He's very good at it. Skadoosh. Nice. I like that you went for skadoosh and not pow or bam. So Buck is this absolute tank. He's kind of got these big Christy Ring kind of hands, I guess. For anyone outside of Ireland, Christy Ring was a really famous hurler, but he had these big hands. I'm trying my best now to get that across while absolutely throwing a ton of shadow on it. And not going north-south with my brushstrokes, because I might get an opportunity to leave something like that in that just kind of helps inform the volume. Keep an eye on the odds pod, Ren. We're going to have Buddy on sometime soon, and he'll talk about his process there, hopefully. The odds pod is on Tuesdays, 9 o'clock GMT. You might dig it. I'm looking forward to hearing what Buddy has to say about that as well. We're stoked to have you, man. Can't wait. So I was using the ellipse tool earlier. This is the ruler in Sketchbook, and I just give a quick demo here first. But you can see the types and variation of line you can get out of it. It's just so good. It's not just dead, plain line, the same line the whole way around, which I hate. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Ren. Great to hear from you. Best luck at everything. Let's do that real quick, just kind of see where everything's going. Getting there. Don't worry too late. Best of luck with it all, man. Don't be a stranger. Tune in again. Went a bit too far in on that. So I also have reference here for like dungarees and leather jackets and creases and things, and trying to use it as best I can. Never really kind of shooting from the hip for fear of kind of making a mistake on one of these things. I always try to have enough reference material for just about everything, because I kind of find that the more I can kind of steep my illustrations in something real, the easier it is for people to kind of get into. I forget what it's called. It was in that Scott McCloud book, Understanding Comics. He talks about it as an anime technique where because they use hyper realistic backgrounds and very stylized characters, it's easy for people to kind of put themselves in the shoes of the main character. And so they empathize that bit more with them. And I'd love if I could kind of put a bit of that in my own work. Don't know what that movie is. I see a link. What is it, Dan? Actually, it should be thinner up here, getting wider at the bottom. Okay, I think we'll do Sean next. Get Sean's model sheet. There we go. Again, huge thanks everyone tuning in tonight. I just spotted the numbers there. I'm delighted to get the numbers like that in for something that is something myself, my friend created, as opposed to it being a Superman or a very well established character. Thanks a million. Sean's crossbow is kind of an old, battered one. Something she probably kind of took from a museum almost. It's not like one of those cool new ones you see the likes of Cameron Haynes go out and use. It's battered to bits. Looks like something out of a fantasy genre as opposed to a kind of a modern time post-apocalyptic scenario. It was a lot of fun to give one of those, and I haven't discussed it with Dave, co-creator and writer of the book, as to why it looks like that. I've talked to him about it before I declare anything publicly, but yeah, I had a big reason for it. Try to have a reason for most things, as opposed to just having something in there for the absolute sake of it. I always feel that your product is better for it when it's helping to further the story or making your character your just a bit more weighted in reality. I was really worried with the week that I took off with work there and not getting any time in for the stream that I really struggled for numbers tonight. But that's amazing. Thank you so much, everyone. Not getting too caught up in everything there because they're going to have my arrowhead here in a second. But it's a little easier for me to envision the whole arc when I kind of draw through stuff. One of the advantages of working digitally, I will take advantage of that. And because it's an old kind of beaten up thing, I kind of want to draw these lines as freehand as I can. Just to kind of give it that bit more of a chunky, wobble, weighted feel to these things, like a very worn, very used object, like the cleaver there. I think like when I was first working on the crossbow design, this was kind of something I had in mind. Again, I had a reason to go this route, and shortly after I did this, I was asked to draw a Darrell Dixon commission, and I had to draw his crossbow. And holy God, I'm so happy I'm not drawing his crossbow. Ooh, there's so much detail in it. It'd be a bit like drawing his crossbow was a bit like drawing Marcus Phoenix's armor. There's just so many little bells and whistles and things that are necessary for it to be that particular bow, do what it's supposed to do. There is no really to cut any corners. I'll get a bit lost in here if I don't do this. So right here, breaking out the ruler. I'll go over these lines now shortly. Freehand to try and get that wobble that I was talking about. Too thin, we'll go about there. Because my bear has gone in a little bit on what should be Sean's crossbow. Okay. And just like her bow was kind of battered and old looking, the bolts are too. Not that they're old, but they're kind of like battered and homemade. When the world ends, you can't just run down to the armory. Get your blacksmith's freshly made bolts in a quiver, ready to go. There's a little bit of do-it-yourself involved. I kind of want all these things to look like that. So sometimes their bolts look very different. You know, you might have kind of salvaged them from something else and tidied them up to a point where they could be used again. We also, Daryl Dixon, do that kind of stuff. What I didn't realize until I was looking it up was just how powerful they are. Like, they're very powerful. Like, if Daryl Dixon was actually using a proper crossbow, the bolt itself wouldn't have got stuck in those zombie heads. It would have gone right through it and obliterated the zombie head. Would have been a bit more Gears of War, I guess. Sorry, still thinking about that new Emergence Day game that's coming our way. I can't wait for it. See, if anyone is here from Panaloids, because they put out all the stuff from my last time on their show, and be sure to check out their show tonight. They have Dan Crary, who was previously with Vault when I was working with Vault on Godfell, and now he's with Oni, and he's a great guy. I'm sure he gives a great interview, and I think that'll be a fun episode for them tonight. So they're on about an hour or so after I finish, and great show. Go check them out. Oh wait, should be darker up top and the bottom. So I was kind of saying before I did this, this is a cover for issue 1 of the odds. I usually spend about 8 hours ish on a cover, just inking it, and I'm still under the 4-hour mark on this. I don't think I'll finish it tonight. I'll get pretty close. Things like crossbows, that kind of stuff, they'll slow you down for sure. But because I'm putting a bit more of this book out there on my stream, I might favor covers for another while yet. It's an easy thing to do without kind of giving away too much of the story, whereas when I'm working on the interiors, I'm still terrified I'm going to give away some very important beat. Don't want to do that, clearly. And actually there is I have a commission to do on this in a few weeks, so there'll be 1 week where I'm working on a commission for a book that's being kickstarted, and I'll tackle one of the main characters in that book. I have yet to find out exactly how much I can talk about that book on the stream, but it looks great. I'm looking forward to that. It's the first time I've done something like that on the stream. It almost feels like a way of promoting their book, which is cool. More on that down the line. Very close. I think it's either late July or early August. I'll be working on that. It'll be A4 in size, and I think last time I was talking to the creators, they changed it from one character to another. I'll have to figure out who it is again now. I've forgotten. Still plenty of time for me to go figure that one out. But I've got to see some of the interior art, got to see the character designs, and it looks fantastic. But yeah, that'll be a fun one. I haven't had to do a commission on something like that on the stream yet. It'll be fun to do lots of those. Again, there was so much time spent referencing these guys. I can kind of draw up on the top of my head now. But that absolute learning curve of making a folder of everyone's costumes and props, that's something I do since I lost them on Sean's coat and Buck's dungarees. I'll never make that mistake again. So if that helps anyone else do the same thing down the line, very happy to talk about it now. Put as much reference material as you can in a folder locally, because you never know when that website or whatever it was you're referencing from all of a sudden becomes impossible to find. One of the best things I did when I was roughing this out was draw Sean's hand on the crossbow, only to find out these things block it out. Typical, right? If there is one thing I'm looking forward to tonight, is actually watching the latest episode of Acolyte. That last episode has such a cliffhanger. I cannot wait to see what happens. And unlike Buck's kind of round chin, Sean is kind of a pointy one. That's a bit big. Clearly not paying attention to what I'm drawing there. Drawing her nose and stuff first, because this is going to get a bit messy otherwise, I feel. Too heavy, a little lighter. There we go. Just kind of wanted that kind of dead, I'm in the zone look about Sean here while she's looking down the sides of the crossbow. It's a bit too wide, I think. Yeah. Something was bothering me about it. Just clicked. There we go. Now I'll finish off her kind of head, casting the shadow on the crossbow. Oops, didn't mean to do that. There we go. Just want to turn something down there. There we go. No, I'm going to leave the outline in on this one. I actually think I've overdone it. Let's kill it, come back. Simplify this a bit. Sometimes you can overthink these things, and the simplest answer is just the best. Okay. How are we looking? Getting there. Digging it. Few line weights to edit all right. But I'm digging where it's going. I will do a quick outline here on Finn, our front man, and turn off that pencil there because it's kind of distracting me when I'm working on Sean here. Yeah, this jacket of hers can have a few scuffs, etc. on it because it's so worn at this stage, but it's a shinier, slicker material than some of the other things, so you could almost use the paint bucket on some of these. I don't think it'll be too much of a crime. Okay, going to use a paint bucket on this bit here and make sure all my lines are closed. Okay, go back with the pencils on there. And we get into Finn. I always get big Lonely Man vibes when I see Finn. You know the song from the Incredible Hulk TV show? I always kind of hear that playing in the background. Again, always having the model sheets open. Gonna have to do something with the music for the stream. Find some new royalty-free stuff or get permission from someone to be able to play something. I was talking earlier on about making sure that when you're drawing your characters, you can kind of consolidate who they are, what they're wearing, how they kind of hold themselves, all that kind of stuff. And in some of the earliest versions of Finn, I had him smoking, so I had this idea of him being a big chain smoker, but that never worked out. Never really lent itself to the character very well, so had to be scrapped. But in all of the early iterations of him, and he didn't change that much in terms of what you see here. He did always have a cigarette stuck in his mouth. I did some Rocket Raccoon pages just for fun a number of years ago, and I think just before I started working on this, I had rediscovered them. And in that, I had a bunch of characters smoking, and I think that's the only reason why it was really in my head. And I really wanted to draw it because it was fun to draw, cool looking. But when it comes down to it, you kind of need a better reason than that, just to have your character smoke. One of those things that I kind of learned as I was working on this was, even though I had time on my side to get the designs, the character designs right, and trying to practice them and all that kind of stuff, even though I had all of it, plenty of time to practice, figure it out, find the right shapes, pick my favorite ones, all that kind of stuff, I still ended up changing things slightly as I went on to draw the book. No matter how much effort I put into making sure that I'd have consistent, strong designs from the very beginning to the very end, there's still an element of discovering your character as you draw it. It was the same on Godfell. I thought that I had so much time, because I had to finish on a show before I came on that. So in my free time, I was just doodling Zanzi and Net and trying to find my favorite shapes to play with them. And even though I had all that time, it must have been about issue 3 or 4 before I'd really gotten to a point where this was how I wanted to draw these guys. This was the right shape. It wasn't this other thing. There was a bit of figuring it out organically that I don't think you can account for. It just sort of happens. So now I leave it a little bit of leeway in all that time I have for that bit of exploration with the characters, because it's necessary as well. We're coming up to the 2 hours now. As I said, a cover takes about 8 hours for me to do in total. Probably had 45-ish minutes to maybe plan out the pencils. 2 hours of a stream on my last stream working on this. 2 hours tonight, and we got as far as here. I'll do a little bit more of Finn before I kind of end the show, but it looks like it'll be closer to a 6 or 7 hour cover. Then I send my page to Vittorio, and he works his magic and makes me look like I'm 7 million times the artist I actually am. Vittorio was our colorist on Godfell, and he was just great. Very lucky with our team. And the spot black on Finn's design is his plants. Not the spot black, sorry, the kind of graphic black. It's a bit long of a belt buckle. That looks a bit better. A lot of what you're doing throughout your whole process should be like trying to find that balance of straights and curves. Hey, thanks for tuning in, buddy. Really appreciate it. Great to hear from you. I'll chat to you again soon. But to wrap up now anyway, man. Thanks. Remember, these straps on belts and straps on bags, they bend and twist. Don't feel like you have to draw the same shape top to bottom. It's very much a movable, almost moldable thing. And if you kind of give it that space to be asymmetrical and look like it's moving freely, you'll end up with something that just kind of feels more like a bag strap or a belt, etc. That kind of stuff. Okay, so we're a little over the 2 hour mark. I got a little bit left to do on this. I will either finish this on the next stream or I'll do so offline and pick up something else for the next time around. Because maybe you guys don't want to be in 3 videos where I'm working on the same thing. And that would be fair enough. But I feel like I could be here like another hour before I get this completely over the line. So I'm gonna call it quits tonight. Thanks a million for tuning in. Great numbers. I really appreciate that. That's really cool. Especially considering that the odds is something that is creator owned. It's not something that has a huge name like Superman or Batman or Spidey or someone behind it that everyone would kind of know straight away. I'm going to tune into this to watch this kind of thing happen. You guys don't know what you're going to get when you tune in here. So thank you. That's awesome. And thanks a million for all the chat today as well. That was great. Please, if you like the show, like, subscribe, hit alerts, tell a friend, tell them tell their friends, and spread the word. Please. I really enjoy doing this. It's great to see you get such a response. It's really reassuring. You can catch me again next Tuesday, 9 o'clock with the Odds Pod with Dave. And you can catch me here again next Wednesday. I'll figure out what I'm drawing between now and then. If anyone has any requests, please hit me on my socials. It's Bennessy on pretty much everything. If there's anything you would like from myself, there is a website. You can go there for prints, comics, commissions. And as I said at the start of the show, there's a limited number of Godfell trade paperbacks at my hand here, and they will go on the shop over the next 2 weeks. They won't go up this weekend, it'll be the following weekend on the shop. But for anyone who wants one, if you hit the portal or hit the contact Ben on the website and you want to pre-book it, I'm sure you can do that too. I first come, first served. So that's where we'll leave it today. So we got our bear. I'll turn off the pencils here for a sec. We got Buck. We got Sean, giving it that dead eye. And we got our lonely man Finn walking down the highway. And yeah, looking forward to finishing this. I'm really enjoying it. Line weights and everything to come. Thanks a million, everybody. Really appreciate it. All the comments tonight were really great. Really enjoyed that bit of fun and talk and chatter. I will see you guys again this time next week. Thanks very much. Bye.